You that every word I'm about to say is the gospel truth, with no exaggeration, even though you'll think I'm exaggerating. I used to own the Blue Line Sports Shop, and I was in the process of moving from 52 Broadway to, at the time, 80 Main Street. And about every couple of days, or at least once a week, this guy in a fatigue jacket with hair everywhere and a bandana at all times would come into my store and he would say, "Hey man, I'm looking for a job. You need anybody to work?" I'd say, "No, not right now. Come back later." And he would. And one day, there was an elevator in this Blue Line Sports Shop building there. And one day we were hauling stuff. We were actually in the process of taking stuff that we didn't need down to the new location. And we had the elevator blocked because we wanted to use it, you know, be a little greedy. And we're downstairs working like crazy. And the only light in the entire hallway coming down the stairwell, which most people didn't even know where it was out. It was totally black. And I was in the room, we were hauling stuff, and I turned to Jimmy Bombard and I said, "Hey Jim," I said, "we're going to need somebody, we're going to need another set of hands, don't you think?" And he goes, "Yeah." "Yeah," he said. I said, "You got any ideas?" Jimmy paused a minute, and just then we heard, dum dum dum.
Sam, that's way too on key.
Probably right. We looked out into the dark hall, we could see a figure coming in a fatigue jacket and a bandana. I says, "Oh man." I said, Jimmy, I said, "Do you know somebody named Lou Leonard?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Is he an okay guy?" Jimmy said, "Yeah, he's okay." I learned later that Jimmy would say, "Satan?" "Yeah, he's okay." So I said, he goes, "Hey man, you looking for anybody to help?" I go, "Actually, we're looking to move." And I said, "We could use a set of hands." And we made a deal, dollar and cent wise right there. And life was good. Lou came to work, started helping us. We reached a point where we did most of our own carpentry work, remodeling work at the Blue Line. And of course, Lou was an expert carpenter. Told me himself.
Okay.
And so we let him help there. And we were getting pretty close to being done. It's about time to move. I went to bed one night, and my wife is usually, by the time I get to bed, is usually cuddled in the fetal position, sleeping soundly, was laying on her back with her hands like this. And I knew there was trouble. I said, "What's up, honey?" She said, "You gonna hire Lou?" I said, "No, I'm not gonna hire Lou." She goes, "I think God wants you to hire him." I go, "God wouldn't do that to me." She said, "Yeah, I think he does." I said, "Okay, I'll hire him." And I hired him. And I thought, what am I going to do? I stuck him in the back room. We had a door. We could keep it closed. Well, needless to say, I got to be honest, Lou did a good job and we became great friends. But in the meantime, we were walking up one day. It was Lou's second anniversary. He'd been there 2 weeks. We were walking up the street, and side by side, we were in front of Dr. Wise. Everybody knows where Dr. Wise was. We're walking up the street, and Lou goes, "Hey, man," and he slapped his hand down on my shoulder. I go, "Yeah?" He goes, "I've been working here 2 weeks, and I ain't stole one thing yet." I said, I'm thinking to myself, I wanted to ask him, what's the longest you've ever gone? But I didn't. And as I say, the rest is history. And one day Lou said to me, I had a little bad experience with a gentleman who worked for me, and I was looking for somebody to replace him in the hunting department. And Lou said to me, "Hey man, you gonna give me a chance for that job?" And I said, "Yeah, I will." And this is hard.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
It is.
because the rest is history. It's been
It's been
in
awesome.
eyes ever since.
It's been awesome.
One last thing, you know.
We
One
were
time-
brothers for a short time
Yes,
too,
we
you know.
We're headed there.
Yeah.
And I said to Lou, I'll take you to the SHOT Show in Houston.
Dallas.
So, Dallas? Okay.
Dallas.
So I said to a good friend of mine, I said, where do you get your tickets for airplanes? He said, I got a travel agent that gets it for me. I said, do me a favor. I said, I'm taking Lou to the SHOT Show. I go, will you get us tickets? He said, sure. Now you got to remember, this was a different era. This is 15, 18 years ago, whatever it was. So I get a call. I go, Bob? He goes, yeah. I said, you get my tickets? He goes, yeah. He goes, they had a deal. I said, what's that? He goes, you buy one ticket for $300 and a family member can go for $1. I said, okay. Well, back then you didn't need to show ID like you do today. So, yeah, we were brothers for a while. Lou sat behind me on the opposite side, about 6 rows. And all during the flight I could say, hey, that guy up there is my brother. In fact, I sat by a lady I'd never seen before in my life. She pulled out a book she started to read. She opened up to the back of the book. And I said, what are you doing? She goes, I'm going to see how the book ends. I go, you can't do that. I certainly can. I go, no, you can't. She goes, yes, I can. I said, hey, everybody, this lady's starting in the back of the book. Well, Lou was a ringleader. Believe it or not, it was something like out of a Seinfeld episode. We had the entire plane going, you can't do that! And he goes, all right! Remember that, Lou? That was great. But we had some great times. And I don't ever think we had a bad time.
No.
I don't ever remember a bad time, honest to God, not for a minute.
I mean, I did shoot at a guy with a broadhead,
Yeah.
you know, with a crossbow in your basement.
Yeah.
I
I taught him how to, to check out a BB gun to see if
Yeah.
it was working. You take a loose curtain,
curtain,
and you shoot BBs into it, and they just harmlessly fall.
they harmlessly fall down. They don't get into the back wall at all.
So Lou
You know.
did try out a BB gun for a guy, and
Of course, I never.
shot into a tight curtain.
Right.
I opened the curtain one day, and I go, what the heck happened here? There was 35 BBs.
There was more than that.
35 holes in the curtain. We had a great time, everybody.
It was an awesome time. We did have a great time.
To both of you, thank you for all the great memories. It was awesome.
Thank
And
We
I
thank you
can tell
for.
We've told this story, Lou, many times. I remember one night being in the hole in the wall in Las Vegas. Batista's hole in the wall.
Batista's hole in the wall, yeah.
And I bought a bottle of wine. I said, guys, we're going to have a toast to the success of you two guys. Thank you, it's great all you've done. And one of the guys across me said, wait a minute, before we toast, he said,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you that we are close to getting a buyer for Crossman Corporation. Everybody knows Crossman Air Guns. It's a big corporation. He said, and I'm going to be a part owner. And Lou said, wait a minute, before we toast, he goes, I just made a sale this Tuesday for 50-some thousand, I don't remember. He said it's by far the biggest sale I ever made. And that was a pretty good night.
That was awesome.
Thanks, guys, for all the memories.
And we both thank you for giving us our start
I didn't give you any
in
start money.
business. Yes, you did.
She sent you
Yes,
down
she
the
did.
dark stairway.
She did.
And I believe that's still downstairs in the basement of that building.
Yes.
June 16th.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still written
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah. My anniversary, you wrote it on the wall so you
Yeah, you
wouldn't
wrote it there, so that we never forget our anniversary.
Believe me, every word of that is exactly true.
Okay, does anybody else wanna? Okay, come on.
This is short. This is hard for me. Kath is a schoolmate of Ray's. And I tongue-in-cheek say she's my only friend in Saranac. But when I was 20 and I robbed the cradle when he was 19, we came up to visit and I met